Welcome back, action figure fans, for another video. We're going to be looking at 10 more awesome action figures, mostly Marvel Legends, but a Marvel Select. 5 good guys and 5 bad guys, as always. So there we go. That's going to be the 10 that we look at. Okay, going back to the first one here, the main man, Stan Lee. Everyone knows Stan Lee, or you should. He's the creator or co-creator of most of the Marvel Universe, it seems like. And so they finally put out an action figure of him, which, I mean, he has been in a lot of Marvel movies, right? So that's appropriate. And I really like the Captain America shield that they put on there with his signature Stan Lee on that. So it's a really good Marvel Legends figure. So he can be with your MCU collection of characters that appeared on screen, or he can just be part of your overall Marvel Legends collection. So there you go. All right. I think this is the Future Foundation Spider-Man, or the big time Spider-Man. I can't remember which, but what a cool costume. Spider-Man has always had one of the coolest costumes in comics, both his classic red and blue, and then of course his black and white. It's an awesome costume. And this is another really cool Spider-Man costume. I've always liked the black and white Spider-Man costume. And this is a variation of that. And so, I mean, they've made, I don't know, over 100 Spider-Man figures. So anytime you can get a little variant or some different look on the Spider-Man character, that's always a good thing. And it's quite amazing to have all your Spider-Mans together on a shelf. They look awesome. And this is a great one to have. Future Foundation Spider-Man. Okay, moving on to the Blue Marvel. I believe he was created as a character back in like 2008. He's an extremely powerful character. He draws his power from the interaction between matter and antimatter, the energy that's released in the negative zone. Somehow he taps into that for a variety of effects. So he's at the same level as like Sentry, the Hulk, Thor, King Hyphen. He's at that level. Very powerful character. Most people don't know this character. So, but he's kind of cool. And you can see his energy effects there. And he ages extremely slow. I believe he's probably in his 70s or 80s. Okay, so that's the Blue Marvel. Okay, moving on to Robot Man. This is the cool character. I've always liked the Robot Man. And he's got telescoping arms and legs. And so I have one of them attached. You can attach more, I believe, that came with him. But I thought one was enough. And I like the colors on him a whole lot. I like that purple with the red eyes. He looks cool. Always kind of liked Robot Man. And of course, he struggled to be human. I think his look has changed in more modern times. But I like this old classic look here. This old costume. So, that's a cool character. Always liked Robot Man. Okay, moving on to my one Marvel Select, and once again, you can just see the size difference with the Marvel Selects. He's towering over the Marvel Legends, but that's okay. I've always liked that about the Marvel Selects. And here is one of my all-time favorite Iron Man armors. This is called the Silver Centurion armor, and this came out during the famous Armor Wars. And of course, those are attachments that you can snap on and off. And they have made a Marvel Legends version of this, but 2 of them actually. One back in the day and one fairly recently, a Walgreens exclusive. But I really like this Marvel Select one. The color is great. I like that bright red. I wish this was a little more bright silver. But anyway, it's a good looking figure, and I've always liked this armor. It's definitely unusual. I really love these shoulder pieces here, and love that helmet. And that's always been one of my favorite Iron Man armors, the Silver Centurion armor. And it looks really cool. I like that guy. Thank you, Marvel Selects. Okay, moving on. We have the Mole Man. This is a fairly old character. This is going back probably 2006, 7, 8, somewhere in there. And a Mole Man is a Fantastic Four villain, lives in the subworld, Subterria, I believe it's called, the Marvel Universe, and he controls a army of moloids, they call them, and he has all kinds of large, monstrous creatures under his control. And actually, Fantastic Four #1, one of his monsters is busting up out of the ground, and so he was right there at the beginning. So pretty cool old figure. But I mean, he's the right size. He's short, he's stocky, and he's ugly, which that is basically the Mole Man. All right, moving on to an MCU movie. I believe his name is Gorr, Gorr. And the movie that he was in with Thor was terrible. Christian Bale's performance was the only redeeming thing about that movie. And I think this is a cool looking figure. It captures him from the movie pretty much perfectly. But of course, he looks quite a bit different than the comic book version of Gorr, which I do have that figure. And I'll probably go ahead and show that in another video fairly soon. But for the MCU, I know a lot of people like to display just the MCU Marvel figures all together. And that's a cool display to do. He looks spot on. He looks just like Christian Bale in that movie. Very well done with the sculpting on him. All right, there's Gorr. Okay, moving on to Mr. Negative. Spiderman villain. He is a gang, lord. I don't know if he's trying to overthrow the Kingpin or works the Kingpin. Not really sure on that. Haven't really read any comics with him in it. I know he's in a bunch of video games as Spider-Man as well. He controls an energy called the Dark Force, kind of like Cloak. And he's got superhuman strength. I think he said mind control as well. But visually, he's a cool looking character. I guess he can channel his energy, his Dark Force, into weapons as well. He's got that flaming sword. And he's a visually cool looking character. Mr. Negative. Okay, moving on to the Fallen One. This came out in a 2-pack with Terax the Tamer. He's called the Fallen One. He was, I believe it said, Galactus's first attempt at creating a herald. Unlike the other heralds of Galactus, he was powered by not the cosmic or the power cosmic like the other ones. He was powered by dark energy. But overall, he still has most of the same powers as the other heralds. Can fly faster than speed of light, has vast superhuman strength, can augment that, can shoot out all kinds of concussive force blast, is invulnerable. So anyway, I like this character. I think it looks really cool. And this is the first time they've ever made this character. And I always like it when they put out a new character. So here's the Fallen One. He's a cosmic character. He goes in line with all the other Heralds of Galactus. So if you want to have a really cool display of all the Heralds of Galactus, you definitely need the Fallen One. Even though he's dead now. But, a lot of times these dead characters come back, right? So there's hope for him. The Fallen One. Okay, moving on to MODOK. mental organism designed only for killing. That's what MODOK stands for. And this was a deluxe figure. As you can tell, it's huge. It's humongous. There's like 2 different face plates that can pop off. And it's just a really, really cool figure. I bought this figure right away. I should have waited because, of course, like almost all the Marvel Legends, it went on sale later on. But sometimes you never know. Sometimes these things are hard to get. They sell out. And I wanted to get him, and he looks amazing. This is the best MODOK figure that they have made up to date. Toy Biz made a really good Build-A-Figure back in the day, but this one's actually even better. So they just need to take this one and mold it and make Modam, the female version. But that's a great looking villain. That's a great looking figure to have in your collection. All right, guys, that's the 10 figures for today. I hope you liked that video. Please check out my other videos. I'm making these for you. If you get time, please leave a comment. Tell me what you're liking or what you'd like to see. All right, take care.